The 7-step process to user direction came out of a study that I've just completed. No participant actually gave me the 7 steps, but in looking at the data, I saw the 7-step process fall out. And I guess as a family member, I could quickly recognise it as a process that I had in fact used myself to be a robust way to keep the idea of user direction fresh. So I'll go through those 7 steps. The first is that you start with the person. If you're starting in any other place, like making an assumption that a person would go to a facility or would be part of a group home, or there would be certain staff that would be supporting that person, then you're in the wrong place. So to truly start with the person, you would meet the person and start the conversation, like, let's go on the journey together. The second step is the development of a vision and plan. And many people have quite a modest vision and plan to start. So I suggest that this process is a continuing building process of imagining better, of exploring what a good life might be. And this may take years. But without that process, your user direction, the direction of a service is rudderless. It doesn't know where it's going. So this is the crucial next step in user direction. The next is that in bringing paid staff into your life, it's important to have people that you like, that are a good match, that are compatible with you. And there might be some surprises there. I know a young man who has someone working with him who's over 70, but they get on very well and they have similar interests and they're a good team together. Those folk might come from all sorts of surprising places, from your community, from your networks of friends. So in that regard, I think it's important to keep open to who those people might be. Once you identify them, you will know them to be part of your, on your wavelength, which is what I call a good match. The fourth is the process of getting to know each other well. So the support workers and the service user or the person with disability goes through a process of getting to know each other well, and that the support worker begins to understand over time, understand deeply who you are and what your needs are and how you're best supported. And similarly, as a service user, you would begin to understand what are the strengths of your support worker and what can this support worker do to really enhance your life. And again, I suggest this is a process over time, and it may take years for that real deep understanding to occur. So the fifth step is that in that getting to know each other well, there is a building of trust. And that isn't a fast process either. That as you take risks together, as you try new things in life, as you become well known to each other, then you build a trust and a deep relationship and a trust, a working trust in doing things, in taking your life forward. That trust can also develop within a team So that team meets regularly. Then there's a corporate trust or a communal trust between the workers and trust of the person with disability around how that team is going to support him or her, and to work together towards the common vision and plan. And the sixth step is that there is capacity to solve problems quickly and locally, so that there's no one's waiting for an answer to a problem, and this can be very uncomfortable when you're waiting, and a problem is not dealt with. They only get bigger when that happens. So an essential part of user direction is that there is a problem-solving strategy that's very close to the person with disability. And the seventh is that you check that resilience is being built over time. If the person with disability is becoming more dependent on their support workers emotionally, physically, then clearly something isn't working here. That the whole point of the process is to assist that person to become stronger, more resilient in life. So that's, I guess, the ultimate check that the process is working well. Now, the nice thing about this process that I hadn't picked up before, but is that if you have a problem along the way, then a place to start to think through why it isn't working, something isn't going right, is to go back to the step before or 2 steps before. For example, if you, for instance, can't build trust, or you're having trouble building a team that's trusting, working together, and you don't trust them, then perhaps they may not have got to know you well. You may not have given them the time to get to know you really well, or you may not even have the right people in the room. So you have, so they're the sort of questions you need to ask yourself as a service user. Did I allow for enough time for these folk to really understand me, to understand who I am and what I want out of life? And have I shared that well enough? And second, or are these the right folk for me? Maybe they're not. And then if you go back a step further, did I share my vision and plan well enough? Do they really know what I want out of this service? Do they know what I want out of life?